Captain James Carter looked out the large window of the starship horizon. The ship moved slowly toward the small planet below. The crew had just received a strange distress signal from the surface. The signal was unlike anything they had seen before, but it was clear someone or something needed help. "We are approaching the source of the signal," Carter said calmly. His voice was steady, but curious. The crew worked quietly around him, checking the ship's instruments. The planet was covered in thick green forests and strange blue rivers. The atmosphere was breathable and sensors showed signs of life. The ship's landing team prepared to go down and find out what was happening. Among the team was Claire Willis, the ship's medical officer. She felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The unknown was always dangerous, but she wanted to help if she could. When the landing team reached the surface, they found a small village made of smooth organic shapes. The buildings looked alive, as if they grew from the ground. Soft lights glowed inside, and strange plants surrounded the area. Suddenly, a loud cry broke the quiet. It was not a human cry. It was high-pitched, sharp, and full of pain. The team followed the sound to a small hut at the edge of the village. Inside, they saw an alien woman holding a tiny baby. The woman's skin was pale green and smooth, with bright eyes full of worry. The baby was small and fragile, its mouth open in a loud cry. The woman looked up when she saw the humans. Her eyes filled with fear, but also hope. She tried to calm the baby, rocking it gently, but the crying would not stop. The sound seemed to shake the room. "We mean no harm," Claire said softly, stepping forward with open hands. The woman watched her carefully but did not move away. Carter joined them and spoke gently. "We received your signal. We want to help. What is wrong with your baby?" The woman's voice was quiet but clear. "My baby will not stop crying. The sound ... it makes the others angry. The forest, it moves with the cries. We fear for all." Claire looked at the baby again. She noticed something strange. The baby's cries seemed to cause the plants outside to sway violently. Even the air felt tense. "Maybe the baby's crying affects the planet," Claire said. "We need to study this carefully." Carter nodded. "We will help you. Our medical team will do what they can." The woman introduced herself as Lyra. She explained that her people lived in harmony with the planet, but the baby's crying had upset the balance. The cries were loud and painful, and strange things started to happen. The creatures in the forest become restless. "Some have attacked the village," Lyra said. "We do not know why the baby cries so much. It has never happened before." Claire tried to comfort Lyra and the baby. She gently touched the baby's tiny hand. The cry paused for a moment, but then it returned, louder than before. "This is more than normal baby crying," Claire said to Carter. "Something is wrong deep inside." The team set up their medical equipment and scanners to learn more. The sensors showed unusual energy around the baby. The energy pulses matched the cries. "This energy is causing changes outside," Claire explained. "The baby is connected to the planet's life in a way we do not understand." Carter looked serious. "This could be dangerous for everyone here. We need to find a way to calm the baby." While the humans worked, Lyra stayed close to her child. She looked at Carter with trust. "You are different from others we met. You do not fear us." Carter smiled softly. "We are explorers, not enemies. We want peace." As the day went on, the crying continued. The baby's energy pulses caused small tremors and flashes of light. The villagers watched from a distance, worried and hopeful. Claire and Lyra shared stories about their lives. Lyra talked about the planet and her people's deep connection to nature. Claire spoke about Earth and humans' dreams to reach the stars. They both wished the baby could stop crying soon. At night, the forest outside glowed with strange colors. The baby's cries seemed to echo through the trees. The humans felt both awe and fear. Carter stood outside and looked at the stars. He thought about what they had seen so far. The infant's cry was not just noise, it was a message, a signal of something bigger. "We will figure this out," he told himself, "for Lyra, for her people, and for the safety of this world." The first part of the journey had just begun. Claire Willis sat beside Lyra in the small hut. The baby's cries had not stopped since the team arrived. Claire tried everything she knew to calm the infant, but nothing worked. The baby's wails were loud and full of pain. Lyra watched Claire carefully. She was still unsure if the humans could help, but she wanted to trust them. She softly rocked her child in her arms and looked at Claire with hope. "Can you tell me more about your baby?" Claire asked gently. "When did the crying start?" Lyra sighed deeply. From the first breath, the baby cried, "My people believe the child holds the planet's life force. If the baby is in pain, the world feels pain too." Claire nodded slowly. She had heard strange stories about alien worlds, but this was different. The baby's cries did more than just hurt the ears. They affected the land, the plants, and even the creatures nearby. Outside the hut, the forest seemed restless. The trees bent and swayed. Even when the wind was calm, small animals hid in the shadows, watching with wide eyes. Claire stood and looked out. "This is unlike anything I have seen. The baby's energy is linked to the environment. It is not just crying, it is a signal." Carter entered quietly. "Any progress?" he asked. "No," Claire said. "The baby will not stop. The energy pulses get stronger with each cry. It is like the infant is sending out waves of power that disturb everything." Carter frowned. "We need to protect the village. If the forest creatures get angry, they could attack." Lyra's face grew pale. "They already have. Some nights the creatures come close. We have little time." Claire thought hard. Maybe the baby needs something different. A human baby calms when held and spoken to softly. Maybe we need to find what calms this baby. The team brought in soft lights and gentle sounds from their ship. They tried playing quiet music and showed moving pictures. The baby looked at the lights but kept crying. Claire asked Lyra, "Is there anything special your people do for infants when they cry?" Lyra nodded. "We sing songs of the forest. Old songs that tell the baby it is safe and loved, but the baby does not respond." Claire asked Lyra to sing softly. Her voice was calm and gentle, but the baby only cried louder. The tension grew. The team worked through the night, tired but determined. The next day, Claire examined the baby again. Scanners showed the baby's body was normal, but the energy was strange. It was as if the infant was connected to a powerful force inside the planet. Carter asked Lyra, "Can you tell us about this force?" Lyra explained. "Our planet has a life energy called the flow. It moves through all living things. Infants born here carry a strong connection to the flow. If they are upset, the flow can become wild and dangerous." Claire thought about this, and calming the baby might calm the flow and stop the danger. Lyra looked at the baby and said, "I do not know how. The baby cries more each day. If the flow breaks, it could destroy the forest and our village." Claire felt a heavy weight on her shoulders. She wanted to help but did not have all the answers. That afternoon, the team took the baby outside to a quiet part of the forest. Claire hoped that being in nature might help. Lyra stayed close, watching nervously. The baby's cries echoed through the trees. The ground trembled slightly. Suddenly, a group of strange creatures appeared. They were large and covered in thick fur. Their eyes glowed with anger. They growled low, circling the humans and Lyra. Carter stepped forward with his team. "Stay back," he warned the creatures. The creatures hissed but did not attack yet. Lyra said softly, "They protect the flow. They want to protect the baby, but the cries make them restless." Claire looked at the baby, who still cried with no sign of stopping. "We need to calm the baby now," Claire said, "or the creatures will attack and the village will be in danger." Claire tried to hold the infant again. She spoke softly, "It's okay, little one." The baby's cries slowed for a moment, then grew louder. Carter said, "We must find another way. The usual human methods do not work here." That night, Claire and Lyra sat together in the hut. They shared stories about their homes and lives. Claire told Lyra about Earth's many places and people. Lyra told Claire about the flow and how her people live with it, respecting its power. "We must find a way to help your baby," Claire said. "Maybe by learning more about the flow, we can find peace." Lyra nodded. "Yes, but time is short." Claire looked at the baby sleeping finally in Lyra's arms, peaceful for a moment. She hoped the silence would last. The next morning, the village was quiet. The baby's cries stopped for the first time since the humans arrived. Lyra held her child close, surprised by the sudden silence. Claire noticed the change too. She carefully watched the baby's small chest rise and fall in slow, calm breaths. "It's not crying," Claire whispered. Finally, some peace. Carter came to see. This is good, but why now? What changed? Lyra looked worried. I do not know. Silence is strange for the infant. It means something. Outside, the forest was still. The trees stopped moving wildly. The animals came out cautiously. Claire took her medical tools and scanned the baby. The energy readings were strong but steady. This silence may mean the baby is holding something inside, Claire said. The energy is still there, but not releasing. Carter nodded slowly. Could this be worse than crying? Lyra frowned. In our stories, silence can mean the baby carries the flow within. The energy grows and waits. If it breaks, it could cause great harm. Claire tried to explain. It's like pressure building inside a balloon. If the balloon breaks, it bursts. Lyra's eyes were sad, as we fear the flow will break. The villagers gathered around the hut, watching carefully. They hoped for the best, but feared the worst. Claire and Lyra spent hours studying the baby. They tried to find signs of pain or discomfort, but found none. The baby's skin was cool and calm. This silence is a test, Lyra said softly. We must protect the baby and the planet. As the day went on, strange lights appeared in the sky. The forest glowed with soft colors. The energy of the baby seemed to connect with the world around. Carter watched carefully. The baby is part of this planet's life. Our mission is more important than we thought. That evening, Lyra told Claire more about her people's beliefs. Infants like mine are called the flow bearers, Lyra said. They hold the balance between life and chaos. When they cry, it means pain in the flow. When silent, the flow builds inside. Claire listened closely. We need to help you keep the flow safe. Yes, Lyra said. But how? Before Claire could answer, a low rumble shook the ground. The creatures from the forest appeared again, bigger this time and more aggressive. Carter ordered the team to prepare. They want to protect the baby, but they are scared by the silence. We must defend the village. The creatures circled the village, growling and showing their teeth. Lyra stepped forward, holding the baby high. Please stop. Do not harm us. We protect the flow. The creatures paused but did not leave. Claire had an idea. She used the ship's devices to create soft sounds and colors that matched the forest as natural energy. The creatures calmed slowly, moving back into the trees. Carter smiled. Our technology helped. Maybe we can work with the forest, not against it. Lyra nodded. We must learn from each other. That night, Claire stayed by Lyra's side. The baby was still silent but calm. Claire spoke softly. The silence is hard, but it shows strength. Your baby is special. Lyra smiled faintly. Thank you, Claire. You give hope. The next day, the team found a small, ancient place deep in the forest. Old stones with strange symbols covered in moss. Lyra explained, this is a sacred site for the flow. It may help the baby. Claire and Carter agreed to investigate. Inside the stone circle, the energy was strong. Claire's scanners showed a calm pulse, steady and warm. Claire touched the stones gently. This place connects to the planet's life. Maybe the baby feels safe here. Lyra laid the baby down carefully on soft leaves. The infant's energy blended with the place. For a moment, the baby's eyes opened. A soft glow surrounded it. Then, the infant smiled and reached for Lyra. Claire felt hope grow inside her. Maybe they had found a way to help. Carter said this is only the beginning. We must protect the baby and learn more. Lyra hugged her child tightly. Thank you, humans. Together, we face the future. The baby's silence was no longer frightening. It was a sign of something new, a hope for peace and balance. The calm did not last long. Soon after the visit to the sacred stones, a new danger appeared. A group of alien soldiers came from the dark forest. Their faces were hard and their weapons were ready. Captain Carter stood in front of the villagers and humans. They want the baby, he said. We must protect Lyra and her child. Lyra held her baby close. Her eyes were strong but filled with fear. These soldiers do not care about the flow. They want to use the baby's power for war. Claire checked the baby. The infant's energy is still strong but calm. If these soldiers attack, the baby and the village will be in great danger. Carter gathered his team. We will defend this place. No one will take the baby. The alien soldiers moved closer, their weapons glowing in the dark. They shouted orders in a strange language. The humans and villagers prepared. They used the technology from the starship and the natural defenses of the forest. Lyra sang a soft song. Her voice was clear and strong. The song seemed to calm the baby and the forest around them. The soldiers stopped for a moment, surprised by the power of the song. Carter raised his hand. "We do not want to fight. Leave now, and no one will be hurt." One soldier stepped forward. "You will take the baby. It is a weapon for our side." Carter shook his head. "This baby is not a weapon. It is a life. You will not win." The soldiers attacked. Carter and his team fought bravely. The villagers helped with their knowledge of the forest. Battle was hard and loud. Trees shook and the ground cracked. But the humans and villagers worked as one. Claire stayed near Lyra and the baby. She watched for signs of stress in the infant. The baby was calm, almost peaceful. The energy pulses continued softly. Lyra sang louder, her voice stronger. The forest seemed to join her. Animals appeared and helped scare the soldiers. After a long fight, the soldiers retreated. They did not expect such power from the small group. Carter breathed deeply. "We won this fight, but the danger is not gone." Lyra looked at the baby. "Thank you, humans. Without you, we would have lost everything." Claire smiled. "We are here to help. This baby's life is important for many worlds." The next day, the team worked on a device to help control the baby's energy. Claire and the ship's engineers combined alien knowledge and human science. The device was small and light, could measure the baby's energy and help calm the flow. Lyra agreed to try it. The device was placed gently near the baby and soft lights glowed from it. The baby's energy pulses slowed. The forest outside became quiet and calm. Carter watched with hope. "This could be the key to peace, Lyra. Thank the humans again. You saved my family and my people. We are not alone anymore." Claire looked at the baby sleeping quietly. This child is a bridge between worlds. The villagers began to trust the humans more. They shared stories and taught the humans about the flow. Carter thought about the future. "We must protect this peace and learn from each other." Lyra nodded. "Together, we are stronger." The baby slept, silent and calm, a symbol of hope for a new beginning. The days after the battle were calm and full of hope. The baby's silence continued. Lyra smiled more often, holding her child close. The village felt safe again. Captain Carter and Claire spent time learning more about the flow and the baby's connection to the planet. The device they made helped keep the energy steady. One morning, Claire noticed the baby's eyes open wide. The infant looked around, calm and curious. "This is a good sign," Claire said quietly. "The baby feels safe." Lyra nodded happily. "Our people say the flow bearers bring peace when they are calm." Carter stood outside the hut watching the forest. The trees were still and the air was clean. He thought about the journey they had made. "This baby is more than a child," he said. "It is a promise for a better future." One evening, as the sun set, Lyra invited Carter and Claire to a village ceremony. The people sang songs and danced under the glowing sky. The baby was carried in a soft basket decorated with flowers. The villagers smiled and cheered. Lyra spoke to the humans. "Came as strangers but became friends. You showed kindness and courage." Carter smiled. "We are honored to know you and protect your world." The ceremony ended with a bright light rising from the village center. It spread into the sky like a wave of energy. Claire felt warmth and peace. The flow was strong. The baby's silence brought balance. After the ceremony, Carter met with Lyra privately. "What will happen next?" Lyra looked at the stars. "The baby will grow and help our world heal. Your people can help too if you choose." Carter nodded. "We want to help." This is only the beginning of a new friendship. The next day, the starship crew prepared to leave. The villagers and humans said goodbye with hugs and tears. Lyra held her baby. "Thank you for saving us." Claire smiled. "Thank you for trusting us." As the ship lifted off, Carter looked down at the planet. The green forests shone brightly. "This is a new chapter," he said softly. "A story of hope and peace between our worlds." The baby's silence was no longer a mystery or a danger. It was a sign of strength and unity. The starship Horizon moved away, carrying the promise of a better future for all.